Hey guys, Night Raid Gaming here, and I thought I'd do some commentary and reaction to the absolute disaster of the New York Jets at MetLife against the Jacksonville Jaguars. What a total disaster of a season. This is the absolute nightmare scenario for the New York Jets. This is the last thing you needed, and this is the worst possible situation you could find yourself in. And it's unbelievable that the Jets find themselves here, because you have to think, okay, we don't want this to happen, we don't want this to happen, we don't want this to happen, and they walk right into it. And they're trapped, because right now they are invested in a quarterback who is not winning them games and who is not getting better. And if they bench him, well, they don't really have any viable alternatives right now. They certainly don't have the draft capital to replace a second overall pick quarterback. But at the same time, they're too invested in him to bench him, right? Like, well, we have to play him, but he's terrible. And so no matter what you do, you lose. So how did the Jets get themselves into this mess of a situation? Well, I think there's two big problems. Two big mistakes they made. One of them's on Zach, and one of them's on Saleh. I think the mistake that Saleh made this season, and he said it right away, he said it early, he was saying it during preseason, he was saying it during training camp. He said, it's not about the wins and losses, it's about getting better. Now I understand that he's trying to do like a long-term view, a long-term approach to this team. I get that. That sounds prudent. The problem is when you're losing games this badly, when the quarterback is the reason you're losing games, and when you had a potential playoff run, even if it's as a wild card, and it's completely squandered, that matters. And the best way to improve a team is to win. Winning is the best way to improve. But Saleh has had this idea that, well, if we lose, it doesn't really matter. It's about getting Zach the experience and the reps, learning the plays, building the rapport. If we win, okay, whatever, doesn't really matter. It's about Zach getting the reps. It's about learning the plays. And that has been an absolute disaster for this team. And it's a wrong view. Now, I don't think Saleh's a terrible head coach. I think he has potential. He's still learning. But he needs to learn right now that throwing away a season, writing it off before it even started, was a huge mistake. Because I think partially he was trying to set expectations. I don't think they were expecting too much out of this team. So that might have played into his view of, hey, guys, wins and losses don't matter. This is a development year. But they started winning games, despite themselves. The Jets were winning games. And winning them, solidly. They beat a couple good teams, so they're thinking, hey, we could go on a run. But Saleh was insistent. No, it's not really about winning. We're not looking at the record. That has been a disaster. And Zach's not getting better. So to add insult to injury, he's not really developing. I can't name any one thing he's really doing significantly better this year as compared to last year. I guess he's throwing the ball out of bounds a little bit more, which he didn't do last year. But what does that matter? I mean, he's costing them games now. So in many ways, he's much worse. Now, there's the usual sophomore slump to a quarterback, sure. But if we're supposedly losing games for development, there needs to be actual development returns here, and that's not happening. I think the second mistake is really it's on Zach himself. There's kind of two kind of quarterbacks, broadly. You can be like an Aaron Rodgers, where Aaron Rodgers, is not a good guy, doesn't have any friends, people don't talk to him. He's like, get away from me, don't look at me. He doesn't talk to his teammates, and he doesn't want to associate with them. But they play for Rodgers because Rodgers is really good. So, yeah, okay, personally, I don't like you. But on a professional level, I know we're going to win games. I know we could go to the Super Bowl. We're going to make a run. He's the guy. He's him. So you play for Rodgers, even if you don't like him personally. Well, who cares? I'm a pro, right? This is professional. So you play for Rodgers. On the other hand, you have guys like Daniel Jones, which is not a good quarterback, really. He makes mistakes left, right, and center. He's very limited, but he's a good character guy. He does what he's supposed to. He sets a good example. He's working really hard. He's a really nice guy. He's a good guy. So people are friends with him. So even on a personal level, yeah, okay, he's not that good of a quarterback, but damn, I like that guy. Daniel Jones is cool. That's my guy. I'm going to play for him. And that's working for the Giants, at least for now. So they'll play for that kind of quarterback. Right now, Zach Wilson, he's neither fish nor fowl. He's not a nice guy. They don't like him, clearly. Personally, they hate his guts for whatever he's doing or whatever reason. Maybe he's just slacking or lazy. I don't know. And he's not playing good enough to make people want to play for him. Actually, he's having some ugly, ugly games. So players are going, why the hell am I going to play for you? I can't think of a reason. And that's why when the Jets plug in Mike White or this undrafted guy, is it Scrivener or whoever the heck, they're going, oh, thank God, it's somebody else, and they start playing. And so Zach has also really kind of screwed up his career here with the New York Jets. It's not all Zach. It's not all Saleh. It's a big mess of both of them together. It's the mess of the New York Jets. I still can't figure out why is Flacco here and what is he doing? Why is he with the Jets right now? Because the Jets are like playing around him. They won't put him in a game. It doesn't make any sense why they rushed. They let Flacco go. Then they backtracked. Oh my God, we need Flacco. And then they went and got traded for him and got him back. Then now it's all of a sudden, well, we don't want to play him. What is going on with Flacco? And again, we all know, we've seen Flacco play for the Jets. They don't, I'm not saying he's good or even really overall that Flacco is having a negative effect one way or the other. My issue is not with Flacco. My issue is with the decision making around his position as to why he's here. He's let go. He's back. He's let go. He's back. He's playing. No, he's not playing. Yes, he's playing. No, he's never going to play. What are they doing? This is a mess. There's no Flacco plan. And when I see a simple position like a backup quarterback, this is not that hard to figure out. And they're struggling to come up with some kind of idea or strategy with Flacco. No wonder Zach's all screwed up and everything else is messed up. And they need to fire their special teams coach, like now. The special teams is absolutely abominable. So that guy needs to be fired. I don't know his name, just fire him. So the Jets are a total mess. This year is really a disgustingly bad year. I didn't think the Jets would be doing anything. I figured they'd be improved over last year, but that they would miss the playoffs. Yes, that's what happened. But really, they had the chance to make the playoffs. I kind of had the expectations that they really would never have the chance to make the playoffs. But they had it. It was in their hands. Their destiny was in their hands, and they completely squandered it. And that is kind of the running theme for the Jets of the last 5 or 6 years, if you even want to go that far, maybe 7, is just the great squandering. And Zach Wilson looks squandered right now. Whatever, maybe he was never the guy. But he needs to go somewhere else. The Jets need to move on. I think Saleh needs to learn from this that developing a quarterback at the expense of your entire roster, that math does not add up. You cannot write off any season, and I think that's part of why Zach gave the answer that he did, the controversial answer that got him benched, where they said, hey, did you let your team down? And he said, no. To be fair, he's just going off what his coaches told him, which is, hey, winning and losing, it doesn't matter. So when the media was like, did you let him down? He's thinking, well, no, because winning and losing doesn't matter. It's about me developing. So it doesn't matter if we win or lose. And he got that idea from Saleh. I'm sure he's a total jerk about it in the locker room, but he kind of got that idea from Saleh. So I think at this moment right now, The Jets need a new quarterback. Zach's got to go. He has to go to another team. He needs a fresh start. But Saleh needs to learn that he has to ride this team to win every game. There's no such thing as a rebuilding year where you just kind of throw it all away. That is a terrible idea. Tanking almost never pays off. I know people like to point out the Colts tanking for Andrew Luck, and somehow that was a genius plan. You do have to count that even though, yes, Andrew Luck was a great quarterback, he retired early. And they really never got anything out of him. They didn't win any significant playoff games. They certainly didn't get a ring. And they didn't even get the full length of his career. He left. And they're still scrambling to find a new quarterback ever since Luck left. So tanking didn't even work for supposedly the best example of tanking. So tanking doesn't make sense, and throwaway seasons don't make sense. But enough of these New York Jets. I'm looking forward to the playoffs. I think we're going to get some good football. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think, guys, Zach is done? Do you think it's Zach, or do you think it's the Jets? Could he be good somewhere else? Are you just loving the fact that Zach is terrible, which I know, man, a lot of people love to see this guy bomb out. A lot of Chicago fans are really laughing hard right now that they got Justin Fields instead of Zach. Maybe you guys dodged the bullet. So let me know what you think. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and I will catch you guys next time. Later.